lucky on this map because you've got the double silo, which gives you a decent storage capacity. On like Ravenport and Felsbrunn, where you only start with, I think it's 100,000 litre capacity, you could quickly run out. Certainly on the American Outback map, I think you only have 100,000 capacity, and that's, you can easily pick up more than that off the field because of the size of the fields. Right, we need to unfold the header. Our first look at the corn header. Sunflower header, should I say. Let's go! I'm going to do straight up and keep going straight up. I'm going to go straight over and do field 5 as if it's one field. 4 and 5 are one field. I'm not going to do 4 and then go up and do 5. It just makes sense, because 4 and 5 are going to become one field anyway, because honestly this stupid bit in the middle here is just, it's just not worth it. It's too much platting around, and it's like when I buy field 6, that stupid bit there in the middle, you might as well make 4 and 5 and 6 into one field. Just then have one big super duper ginormous field. I mean, you could discipline yourself if you wanted to then and split the field in half and have 2 different crops growing. It all depends really, doesn't it? What takes your fancy. You could, you know, don't have to necessarily plant one crop on such a big area. You could, like you say, sow it all, plough it all together, but then leave a gap between crops, so you can drive machinery up and down the field if you need to. Like getting to that liming station over there is probably good. A good move, which I'm going to have to go to, because obviously I haven't got any lime in the new fertilizer spreader, in the new spreader at this precise moment in the game. Just bought it, and I wasn't going to pay store prices for the lime when there's a bulk selling station there which offers it slightly cheaper than the store. And as I'm going to need to put 18,000 litres of lime in that spreader, I might as well get as much discount as I can by using the sell point. I notice we don't get, and that's another thing, we don't get liming contracts. We don't get contracts from the farmers to lime their fields. Probably a good thing, because the rate at which you get through liming that spreader would end up, I suppose, spending all your contract payment just on keeping the machine stocked with lime, keeping it full. Now, field 4 wasn't needed lime putting on it, didn't it? So, because it needs lime, I don't expect the harvest off field 4 to be very, the yield, should I say, to be very great. In fact, I would imagine field 4 is quite rubbish as far as yield goes, but it gave us a crop. It's given us a harvest. It's going to give us some money. Like I say, the price of sunflowers is pretty good. Get it over to the transport company. Means we're going to have to use the train. Picking up very slightly, and I bet it ticks up faster on this field. Yeah, this field was fully, you know, in the right state. Got both stages of fertilisation, no weeds, didn't need lime, didn't need ploughing. So this is giving us the full 100% yield. Whereas because field 4 needed lime, lost a bit of yield from that. It's a bit of a shame because field 4 is the bigger field of the two. I would have sooner have lost the yield on this one and had 100% on field 4, but that's how it goes. That was the state of the field when we bought it, didn't we? We bought it. It had just been harvested and it needed lime, and because I'd just done a load of lime on the other fields, I was like, nope, not going to do lime again so soon. Get it seeded, get it sowed, get it growing. Then I can lime 4 and 5 at the same time. Again, it keeps them then in sync, keeps them in cycle. I think that was the plan. Because field 1 and 2 get done at the same time, and then field 4 and 5 can be done at the same time, and then it keeps them offset, if you like. So again, I'm not suddenly in a situation where I've got to lime half a dozen fields at the same time before I can do any other work, because that tends to slow things down. It's going to slow down anyway because I've only got the one seeder sower, so to sow and replant 4 fields now, it's going to take me a while. And I've got to remember, I haven't got any way of fertilising. I can't fertilise the ground because I haven't got a fertiliser spreader. I've got rid of it, sold it. I'm only going to put lime in the new one. And I haven't got a sprayer yet. So the only fertilisation that the field gets is when I seed. Because I've got the seeder stroke cultivator seeder fertiliser, haven't I? So I'm going to have to fertilise at growth when the harvest crop appears. But I'm going to need a sprayer for that, which is why I'm hoping crop off this field. 23. See, it's not a big haul. For 2 fields, this harvest has been pretty poor. Pretty poor return. Sunflowers. If I get just over 30,000 litres, I'll be surprised. I'll be surprised. Although that field's got a few more passes on it. Yeah. Yeah, this again, I think you need a bigger field for things like sunflower, corn. You really need to be planting them on a big field. Something like field 29 is going to be a prime example. That's where you want to, or something like field 6 even. These fields are a bit too small. The fields I've started with are kind of more for your wheats, your barleys, your oats, canola, soybeans, you know, all that sort of stuff. Was there a bit? Yeah, there's a bit over there we didn't get. So I'm just going to whiz around there quick, pick that up. Finish off field 5. There's the train. Well, if I can do this pretty quick, I might be able to get to the transport company as he's on his way around. Nice, because then I haven't got to wait all day for the train to come back around the map. The trouble is, I'm not going to get all the crop in the voucher. Why? Hold the header up. Find our tippy truck. So I'm going to have just over 8,000 litres to put into my silo. I'm not going to make a second journey for 8,000 litres of sunflower. Not worth it. However, selling 21,000 litres will be enough. It'll put us over the 300 gram bracket. Should go in there nicely. Oh, 8,148 litres. I can now go and put in the silo. And we're done with the harvester for the moment. Although I will check the contract situation. See which header we're going to need the most of, whether it's going to be in the corn header or the grass header. Tip him out there. 8,148 litres. Blish blash blosh. Outro going, put colours on. Right. We need to go to the transport company. We know the silo's over there. We get there before the train. It's going to be close. Hey! There's a bump there. I don't know whether I mentioned that before or not. There's a bump there. Train. Good thing. Right, we're going to unload that. And 1,000 litres of crop in the silo bin. Right, so he's heading actually down between fields 29 and 30. So we don't have too far to go. Get that cover open. Ready to put the sunflower seeds in it. Barriers down, stop the cars. Do love the train. I'll take a screenshot of the train, I think, for this video. When it gets a bit straightened up. Flash round here. Still 2,639 at the transport company, so that's where we're going. Oh, some logs there. Are they free logs? Oh, box, maybe. Barriers down. Stop the cars. Growing cotton over there. Looks mostly like, as I've been going around the map, does look a lot like we've got a lot of grassy type crops, wheat, barley, that sort of stuff. So it's good going. Loading up on sunflowers. So our 21,000 litres, which will get us, what, 42, about 53,000, I think. Quick maths off the top of my head. Not bad for a crop. Probably need to slow down. Probably needed to slow down a lot sooner. Kind of overshot me mark a bit. $55,000, yeah, pretty much what I said, wasn't it? Not bad. Not bad at all. Drive our tractor back to the farm. And obviously we've got the canola to sell now at some point. Case of whether or not I want to start fiddling with the fields. Obviously now fields 4 and 5 are in a position where they could be ploughed. I could plough them just to do that sort of thing, to make them one field, which would make my life a little bit easier going forward. Back on, so we don't get any rubbish falling inside the machine. The 352,000 is what we're up to. Tippy truck I'm done with for now. We're going to need fertilizer. Going to need the plough and the cultivator. Cultivator and sower. Get him ready. It's a case of what we do with the fields now. Okay, 4 and 5 actually need ploughing. That's kind of made my decision for me then. Um, Or needs lime, so if I lime it, plough it, that's herbicide there. I don't have any spare pallets of lime. I'll have to go and get some. Right down here at the end of field 6. Between 6 and 7 is the fill station. Then we can line the fields, then we need a plough. And you can have... Thing is though, if I join those fields together at this point, that section in the middle, the section in the middle will need liming as well, so am I not close enough to it? There I am. So yeah, I'm going to fill it up full with lime because it actually uses lime faster than it does fertiliser, so you do tend to run out of lime a lot quicker in a spreader. For whatever reason, the machine just seems to use that a lot more faster than it uses the solid fertiliser. That money disappearing already. I figured white with black wheels was a good choice for the fertiliser. It's going to make it easy to spot, and it again, colour coordinated jobs. The lime is white, so the machine that spreads it ought to be white, and then I instantly know at a glance what a machine's purpose is. Right, that is done. £4,000 on lime. Take him and park him out of the way over here. Now, I don't own a plough. And if I was to look at my tractors, he's got 305 horsepower, he's got 150, and he's got 201. I look at ploughs, where are they? Ploughs or maybe subsoilers. Only 3 metre width. 4 metres, because suddenly it goes up to 140,000. 4 metres, getting into crazy territory up here, where you need like 420 horsepower. 85, 180 to do 2.5 metres, 204, 360 horsepower look to do 6.2 metres. Crazy. 400 horsepower, do 16 metre width. I mean, that's not really for this map. So, a subsoiler we can pull. But the working width is crap, for lack of better terms. fix it. And then I'm going to also need, whilst I remember, I know it's not a roller, before anyone says it's not a roller, but it does the function of the roller, and it's much easier to use than these things. These things are absolutely rubbish in this game. Breathe in there. I'm going to go get rid of the front loader, and I'm going to go to the store, pick up both bits of kit, then we'll do some ploughing. We will. I can't remember why I bought a front loader. It's probably because I was planning to add animals, wasn't I? I was going to add chickens and stuff. Chicken coop. Or I was going to have a sheep pen. I think we've... But I think I realised I don't technically own this bit of land here in front of me, which is where I want to put my sheep and stuff, my animal pens. So I'm going to plough the field first, then I'm going to lime it, because after I've joined them together I'm going to have to line that strip anyway, so it's a waste of time liming before I've ploughed. And plus, with how bad I am using the plough with the create fields mode enabled, I'm going to have to use that roller to tidy the fields at once I've done. Generally what I tend to do is I tend to set a worker, giving me a nice straight edge, because the workers tend to drive in straight lines, and once he's travelled a bit and got the thing travelling properly, right, I'm going to pick this one up on the front, I think it'll let me. Yes. Pick this one up on the back. Yes. Now we're off. We're rocking and rolling. Tractor's already mucky as hell. We power washed it last night. Now what I like about this plough, that all the blades are in the same line, so it should be easier to line up, especially when creating fields, dropping it down. You want to be dropping it, you don't want to, like, the problem with the other ploughs is because they tend to be staggered, you end up with bits all over the place. Fields start going wonky shape very quickly, and then you're having to do a lot of correction with your roller device. And I only just noticed how much of a hill lump there is in the middle of that field. Wow. Well, this map was pretty flat. Now, do I elect... Am I going to do the headland now, whilst I've got this attached quickly? I like the way it's pushing the plough. That's why I love this machine. Look at it, look. Puts a lovely straight edge on that field. It means my machines have got a bit more room to turn around now at that end. What I want to get rid of first? Probably the roller. Right. Put the power on. It's not much wider than the tractor, to be fair. Point in time. That's ploughing at this moment. When he gets to the end of the field, what I will do, I will stop him. Stop himself. I'll put allow crate fields on, drop him in. Hello. Oh, I've made a boo-boo. Although it can be used instead of a plough, it doesn't create fields like a plough. So this is a complete waste of time. Again. Oh. I don't think I've got a tractor that could pull a plough. See, it's only 2 meters wide. That's the one I like, but I normally get it. But it requires a lot of horsepower to pull it. I mean, to be fair, it is giving it its ploughed state. At least it's turning the fields away from red. But obviously I can't join the fields together at this point. That's a bit of a blow. How are we looking on prices? Who's offering what at the minute? The Harbour has stabilised on the canola at 1,503. Transport company's still offering the best for sunflowers. Barley is going well at the bakery. Got 41,000 litres of that. So I could do some sales trips. Couldn't I? If I load up the sunflowers, I can take them over too. I've got, what, 43,000 in there now? $43,000 litres. I can't carry it all, but it'll get me another. Give me another nearly 50,000, won't it? In cash. Is worth having. Can I sneak through here, or have I got to come through here with my chainsaw? Take the trees out. Covers on. This thing's got some pace to it. It's a bit quick. Bit of luck, apprehend the train again. We'll be able to sell this quite quickly. It's cloudy, but it's going to be sunny again tomorrow. It's like the train's already here. Oh, that'll be nice. Don't go anywhere, Mr. Train. Find him. There he is. I tell you what, you could not have stopped in a better position. Because that means I can fill up a lot quicker than if we were just ambushing this thing halfway around the map. Must admit, I've got to start getting used to the get used to the idea of using the train more. To sell stuff. And I'll try and remember to put the brakes on a little bit earlier this time as well. That would help. So we've got no soybeans are the other expensive crop usually, and I didn't plant any this time round. Which is a bit strange. Where I should be putting the brakes on. Roll her up, nice and steady. Point, we'll get the prompt. $52,000. We'll take it. Just under £400,000 in the bank now. Brilliant. Brilliant. Generally best to come out a bit wide here because of that bump right there on the corner. You can probably just see it. Last thing you want to do is turn your tractors upside down in your trailers. So we've made just over 100 grand today then from our harvesting of sunflowers. It's not a bad return on our investment really, and obviously by the time I've done some contract work we'll be a bit closer still. Not going to take any other crops with me today. Thought about it. I was teasing the idea of maybe selling a bit more as soon as we were in bumper crop terror. This tractor needs a clean. It is filthy. I'd like to introduce you to our pressure washer, Mr. Valtra, Mr. Fent. I think it's a Fent. Yes, it is a Fent. Like that. It's a good blasting with our wireless pressure washer. Well, apparently it does now have a hose all of a sudden. Right, you're nice and clean. Almost as good as the day we bought it. Right, back through it. Get you hooked up to that, because you're the only one that can pull this. Aren't you? Correctly. He's still ploughing. Look at the contract situation. We've got harvesting galore. So fields, that's 7 and 8 are grass crops. Grass crop. That wants sunflower head. Harvesting. That's cotton. Don't want that or that. That's grass crop. Grass crop. That's sunflower seeds, but that's a very small tractor and trailer setup. That's grass. That's a grass. That's a grass. That's a grass, and it's going to give us a big tractor and trailer. This field, right, which is the biggest field? Because this is where my strategy comes into play. It's going to be field 31. Do any of these give us a decent... Hard to tell what size truck they're giving me for that. Because whilst I've got the corn harvester head on the harvester, I would like to do it, but I don't know whether they're going to give me a decent sized vehicle. Worst comes to worst, we lease it. He's going to carry on and wow, subsoil this field, isn't he? Oh, give me the Hulk. And is this the what one's this? The trailer. Really are bad game. A setter. Oh, I love this thing because it's got 2 tanks. It has 2 tanks. We was going to field 23, weren't we? Which is down here, if I remember. Past the railway line. Let me just check. It's got to go to the transport company, which means dumping it in that silo at the top of the field. So we're not actually going to use this tractor on this job. We won't need this tractor for this job because the combine can take it and dump it straight in there itself. Park in there for a second. Hold the harvester up for a second. The header should, because of how this map works with the AI traffic, which is, you know, a bit weird that the cars only travel in one direction. I don't have to worry too much about putting my header on a trailer. This header on a trailer, because we're not going to run into any vehicles in front of us coming the opposite way, because they only go clockwise round the map. Do they? Or is it anti-clockwise? No, it's clockwise. Yeah, they only go clockwise, don't they? Around the road, the traffic on this map. You don't get traffic moving in both directions like on the other two. Yeah, we're not using that New Holland. We'll use our machine. Better. And why give the New Holland, which is a yellow harvester, a red header? Give it the yellow one like I've got. It fits the track, fits it much better. Fits it so much better. That's all you guys. I'm going to do a headland first because basically those telegraph wires get in the way a bit when you're trying to turn around. Straw is not available for this fruit type. So you can't make straw then out of corn. At least I should be able to spin round a lot easier now at the top and bottom of the field. He still hasn't picked up his straw from when we did this job last time, has he? Right, I'll do this for a bit, and then when I get the message on the screen that the helper has finished his job ploughing field 4, I'll start him off ploughing field 5, and then that'll be ready to line then in the next video. And as I say, I'll continue then working on contract jobs until 7 AM the following tomorrow in game, and then I'll bring you back for the next video. Because I doubt you want to watch too much of this. We've already harvested 4 fields. Range broke down again. This is a good field. This is a field I would maybe like to own as well at some point. Because like I say, you've got real handy access to that silo, storing crops. You're not far from the shop, so you can get vehicles here easy enough. Bit of land. You can chuck down a shed somewhere to store your vehicles when you're not using them. A lot of the fields on this strip, because they're all quite, but them ones over there are really big. They're a bit wonky shaped. That's the only downside to them. But again, what you can get off those fields, yield wise, crazy. But obviously comes at a price, very steep price, in the fact that the land value is, you know, you're looking nearly $1 million for those fields behind me. Each. $1 million each, not $1 million for all 3. So yeah, I won't be buying them anytime soon. Brakes on. My dude's still ploughing away with his subsoiler. Doesn't plough. I might have to have a play with the Giant's tools, the Giant's mod toolkit. See if I can make one of those subsoilers that fully functions as a plough, as in does the great fields and everything. Because the fact that it's a straight machine makes it so much better for putting, you know, straight edges and clean edges on fields when you're ploughing, when you're creating fields. When you use the other ploughs, because they're like staggered, you end up spending so much time cleaning up after, neatening up the edges. If you put the worker to work thinking he'll do a better job of driving in a straight line, you start finding out he drops the plough like here because he's going off the bit at the back, so you end up with great big like burns into your field, great big scars into your fields, because he drops the plough down so early because he's going off the back bit. And then he picks it up so early down the front because he goes off the front bit of the plough. So he doesn't reach the end. You end up with a very wonky. It looks like someone's took a bite out of the end of your fields. Get all these like sawtooth marks. Yeah, the worker's still working because I see my money still ticking down slightly. Basically taking £1 every so often out of me. I would have thought he'd have been done field 4 by now though. Where's he got to? Shall we have a look? He's only just past halfway. I'll have done several harvest jobs before he's finished that field. All in it now. end of the field, stop, turn around. 36,365 litres already. Another half my tank. There goes the train. I'm not going to load him up this time. I'm trying to remember, I think we can only get, we have to fill 2 trailers, don't we? Because I think each tank on the train holds 90,000 litres. So it might be that I have to fill up 2 compartments on it to deliver this where it needs to be. I tell you what, I'm surprised. I really am that they leased you a truck for this mission, because it's got to be sold to the. You can't drive a truck to the transport company. You can't physically drive a vehicle to the transport company unless you drive it up the railway bridge. Great demand at the transport company. What for? Sugar cane. Oh. Again, I was trying to think. Would have been too much to ask that he got great demand for corn, wouldn't it? Because we would get the little bit of a bonus then, the Brucey bonus for any additional crop. We would get it at the great demand price, which would then make this contract even more lucrative. We get all this harvesting done, we'll be closer to, well, I would say we'll be well on our way to 500,000 at that point. Then I can definitely invest in a few machines, a few bits of machinery, sprayer, a plough, a proper plough, tractor that can pull the plough. A tractor that can go fast, faster than the Fiat, but has skinny wheels, so I can use it on crops. Unlike the Valtra. Maybe buy myself a mower, buy myself a loading wagon. Now I'm spending all my money. now I'm down to 0 pennies in the bank. I've got to be sensible. Got to think, what do I need? What's priority? Sprayer is priority because I've got no way of fertilising my crops at the minute. Now I've switched over to the fertilising trailer has been switched over to lime. So I'm going to need a sprayer. And honestly, I could probably get away with that on its own then, for the time being. Maybe a mechanical weeder. I might invest in one again. I know I'll have the sprayer for herbicide, but I think the mechanical weeder can pull the weeds out of grass. And at least then I'll be able to do the weeding contracts without having to lease. I don't think they're too expensive. Gives me options, doesn't it? Because I could spray fields and then have another machine doing like the mechanical weeding. Now I can set the mechanical weeder going, and then if I do happen to miss the growth stage and the weeds suddenly shoot up, I can go get the yeah, I don't need to use the truck. It's the tree. Pipe out. Should fill nicely into that area. Get sucked up into the silo, ready to load into the train next time he comes round. Like I say, we don't cash in the job once we've finished. We accept the next job because then we can keep that tractor and trailer. Oh yes, my plan comes together. Who's round here? Well, I've got 2-3 passes maybe of this field left. Two passes, I think. One's down, one's back up to pick up any straggly bits that I've missed. I tell you what, unless we pull 30,000 litres off of this last, these last 2 rows, I've got a feeling we'll only need to make the 1 train trip. Sell it. Convinced. I doubt we'll hit 90,000 litres somehow. These last 2 strips. I think what you've got to remember is last time the field was sown with wheat, wasn't it? I think it was wheat. That it will yield more. Wheat will yield more than corn on a field this size, just by the nature of the plant. And you're only keeping a very tiny portion when it comes to corn, the little grains, the little sweet corn. The rest of it you're basically chopping up and spitting out the back. Whereas obviously with a wheat plant, pretty much the whole head you keep. And the only thing you pretty much get rid of is the stalk. Oh, how scumbaggy that is. Such a narrow strip been missed. Although up here I'm nailing it now. Oh, I've got it now. I don't think my worker's going to finish subsoiling that field before I've done this. I'll have harvested this field before he's finished his task. That's crazy. Crazy how slow ploughing, subsoiling, cultivating, all that takes. Need some faster machinery to do those jobs with. Let's go back and get the bits we missed, and then we'll come up and we'll unload it. We'll load it on the train. We'll be hopefully laughing all the way to the bank with extra harvest. Corn, innit? Oh, the price has gone down. Or is in the process of going down. So it's only the sugarcane that gets the great demand. It's not like every crop purchased at the transport company. See, in FS17, when her place had a great demand, it applied to everything that it took. Now it only applies to specific crops, and it doesn't necessarily mean the price increases. I think I mentioned this before. Sometimes it just means that the price holds. Doesn't decrease when you start unloading, so it basically, you can sell a load and not have to worry about the price changing. Its value stays fixed for a certain period, might be a day or two in game. So you can transport a lot of crop, get it shipped in. Pipe out. Then we've got to try and catch the train wherever he is. Helper C has completed their task. Brilliant. Well, that's as good a place as any then for me now to end this episode, because what I can quickly do, I can find him, and we'll tell him to make a start on field 5. I've got to find the train. The train's on its way down, so yeah, I'll be jumping onto this and taking the harvest up to the transport company, and then I'll carry on doing a rest of the harvest jobs. And when we come back, it'll be 7 o'clock tomorrow. It will be Saturday. No, it'll be Sunday in game, and hopefully we'll have made a lot more money. So, thank you everyone for watching the video. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you remember to click that like button. I also hope you'll leave any comments, suggestions, questions, feedback, anything like that in the comment section down below. And of course, I really hope you'll consider smashing that subscribe button. For now, from me, goodbye.